So this series was created by the writer of ReZero and also the writer of Chaos Child. Two very well-known series that really have shaped a lot when it comes to the anime industry, manga industry, light novel industry, etc., etc. These two individuals have done a lot. And they're working together with Wit Studios, which made the original Attack on Titan seasons before MAPPA took over. And here we go with this anime series for Spring of Anime 2021 called Vivy. So instantly, just knowing about the fact that these two famous writers came together to make this piqued my interest. Because, once again, I think everybody knows, I love ReZero. It's fantastic. It's a really good series. If you've never watched it, seriously, you should watch it. And as for Chaos Child, I've heard so many praise this series over the years, and I've always wanted to get into it, but I never did. But I did read and watch Chaos Head, but not Chaos Child. So I am very, very well acquainted with the name of Chaos Child, and I'm very excited to see what this offer also has to offer alongside of a famous offer that created, ReZero. And there's definitely some similarities to the two writers of both respective series, in that they really love to play with some darkish type themes and twists, and they're really good writers. And so, this series really has everything it can have to really succeed and be a good anime. On top of that, Wit Studios is working on this, animating and all that, so we know how good their staff is. Wit Studios staff has made countless beautiful anime. Once again, another example, Attack on Titan. They have made really good stuff over the years, and looking at this series, I'm excited to see where this is going to go, because from my understanding, this is anime original. There is no other content that is out at this moment. There is no light novel. There is no visual novel. There is no manga. This is strictly, at this moment, anime original. And so, if there is a light novel to come out, which I heard that there is potentially one coming out in a few weeks, if there is one that comes out, that is technically just, going after the anime. So technically this is anime original. This is its own story, something brand new that these writers and the staff is coming together to make. And so automatically, like I said, I was interested in this series right out the gate. So there is currently at this time, if you're interested in watching it, 2 episodes. So the span of 40 minutes, which is incredible to think about. Just 40 minutes alone for basically a first episode. I'm counting episode 1 and 2 as pretty much one episode. As one episode, it really gives you a good insight to what to expect from this story and if it's going to be something that you're interested or not. So the main theme of this series is about AI domination, or AI eventually overthrowing human society. Now, let's be honest, this concept of AIs rising up against humanity and wiping out every single individual human, this is a common theme. This is definitely something that you would see continuously, not just in the light novel department, manga department, anime department. This is something you just see in regular books. This is something you see in just, movies. It's a common theme. However, it's a popular theme. It's kind of like, how there's popular themes of, a isekai, transported to another world. You have themes of, let's say, space, like going into space and, or whatever, or superhero movies. It's a common theme. However, once again, just because it's a common theme doesn't mean it's bad. It comes down to the overall writing style and if it lives up, like if the execution of everything is good. And once again, as a reminder, the 2 writers that are working on this, even though this is a stereotypical cliche theme, they probably can do something really unique with this theme. Think about that for a second, because they really know how to do some twists and dark turns and great storytelling and character development, etc. And so far, the first 2 episodes, I was blown away. Like, it wasn't just the writing that was good and very strong, it was the art and animation. Like, the staff that is working on this, that's a part of Wit Studios, they definitely want to make this project succeed. They're definitely giving it their A game. There is a lot of frames throughout the first 2 episodes that look outright incredible. Like this eye shot. This eye shot is just so heavily detailed. It is just beautiful to me. I really love it. Or this other shot with seeing, Diva and seeing how she looks when she has, like, the crumbling rock on her back. There is a lot of good individual scenes throughout the first 2 episodes, and it definitely has a nice art style to it. And so I think this series, once again, has everything that it can succeed with. It really now just depends on the pacing and how the writing is actually done, if this can be taken to a whole other level. So, from the first 2 episodes, we get introduced to our main female character called Diva. She is the first of her kind of AI, one that looks more humanoid than robot, and if you were to take a glance at her and not really know anything about AIs, you would assume that she is a human. However, we know better. Thanks to the little mark on her neck that shines and all that, we can distinguish her from a regular human, because that's basically referencing that she is an AI. But on top of that as well, she is, as an individual, only has one mission, and that mission is to be a singer, sing to people and allow, her to touch their hearts, allow them to be taken aback by her music. And this kind of goes into the overall theme of what this series is about. Every AI has a mission. The mission they have is to where they will get designs of, and they'll be like assigned a mission when they're born or created, and then that is what they must carry out till the day they're decommissioned, destroyed, or just until that whatever happens to them. Basically, that's what they have to do. So you have an example, our main female character, Diva. She is created with the purpose of singing, being on a stage, singing to people and touching their hearts. And that's what she will do to the day she's decommissioned or whatever. And then you have other AI that might be like, as a babysitter, or another AI that might be a guard AI that protects someone a part of, an establishment. Whatever it might be, you have individual AIs that have one objective, one purpose. And the reason for this is not necessarily to just halt AI growth. In fact, that's the whole point of the series, is that AIs are progressing to the point to where eventually they overthrow humanity. Now, we don't know at this time in the first 2 episodes the catalyst for that. We don't know what caused that to happen. All we do know, though, is that AI progressed to such a point to where they annihilated humanity. Now, it might be something stereotypical. Maybe, AI came with a learning program like the only way to save humanity is by saving it from itself by extermination. This is a common theme, but I'm willing to bet you it's probably something different. There's probably something else that happened. Probably something along with the theme of how the AI really want their own rights and to be their own individual and have their own spirit. And technically, if AI evolved to the point to where they're able to make their own decisions like humanity, eventually it's going to result in some of the things that's plagued humanity as a species since the very dawn of time. Tribalism and going at each other and starting pointless fights and wars with each other. That's probably what would happen if AI ascended to the level of humanity and got that level of intellect. They would probably start to have infighting and fighting with others, and we could already see an example of this, especially with just our 2 main characters of the story, the little bear and also Diva, and just how they interact with each other. Like, the final sequence of episode 2 is a really good representation of how close they are really to humans, because even though they might be following their strict order, their one mission, you see that the way they are competing and going against each other, it goes into the main themes of what humanity is: tribalism and picking pointless fights that really don't matter in the grand scheme of things, just to serve your main purpose, your goal, or your selfish desire. So I do like what the series is presenting. It's a really interesting moral debate, and I always love series like this that make you wonder, and this is a huge question that many ask themselves, because let's be honest, as time continues to tick and we get closer and closer into more of a futuristic future, technology advances, we as a species in real life right now maybe one day might have AI that are a little bit smarter than they are right now. And it is a scary topic. It has always been a topic many people have talked about for a very long time. It's been hypothesized and everything, and when you see something like this, it just rekindles those emotions and feelings you have. And in the same end, though, I do like how this series presents it, because you get to see that you don't really know who is necessarily the bad or good guy, because you're led to believe that the bear that is sent 100 years into the past to meet Diva to stop the AI uprising, you instantly want to believe that this individual isn't actually a good AI, because when you look at how it interacts with Diva and what it says, and it drip feeds you all this information throughout the first 2 episodes, you start to see that this AI does seem to be very crusty. He does admit that he doesn't trust Diva, but it doesn't change the fact the way he acts and the way he does certain things, it shows that he's very soulless, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like he's necessarily fully for humanity. And when you look at Diva, she seems to have more of a soul than other AI. She's able to actually do things and actually do complicated things and try to do more than just one mission, one task, which that is a big topic to bring up. Speaking of the one mission, one task, at the end of episode 2, the final sequence, you see to where the bear's like, you just shook my hand and all that, and you're trying to violate my mission. You're trying to, save everybody when that's not the case. You can't do that because we can't alter history to that degree. We just need to stop the AI uprising. And you see Vivy, she's trying to actually, or not Vivy, Diva, my bad. Diva trying to actually save a girl from this plane crash. And when you look at it, at first glance, you could see that maybe the bear is right. You can't save everyone because Diva's being very naive. However, this shows an example of the promise that she made with the girl in the beginning of the first episode. The girl said, "I can't wait to see you on stage and hear you sing. I'm excited for you to be on the main stage." And that promise indirectly is affiliated with Diva's main mission, her goal. So for the bear to step up and stop her from doing that, he's going against the very promise he just made with Diva, and he is indirectly, or actually not indirectly, directly stopping her from achieving what her mission is, what she's designed to do. And she wasn't really tampering or messing with anything he wants. And so I do like everything going on. It's kind of like when I look at the bear, I'm reminded of Chibi from Monica Magica. That is the emotion I get, that feeling of that mystery, that vague, that evil that is behind the cute mask. I feel like that's what's happening. But overall, I think that Vivy as an anime series is super good so far. It easily could be the best series of this anime season, and I'm excited to see where it's going to go. There's so much potential here with the writers, the staff, the overall presentation of the story. There is so much potential to make this so good and to really stand out and maybe even become a masterpiece or a cult classic. Who knows? There is potential. Obviously, anything can happen in the upcoming episodes where the series spirals down and becomes absolute crap, but at the time of watching these first 2 episodes, I had so much enjoyment, and I'm so happy that we got these 2 famous writers coming together to make this, because it kind of fills up that hole that was left in me after ReZero, Jujutsu, and Attack on Titan came to a close last season, so I'm happy for this series. But I want to leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And with that, Chibi out.